Recently, Whoopi Goldberg divulged her preference for love is evolving. While the View host has plenty of experience with marriage, she is beginning to understand what she likes and doesn't like in romance. Whoopi Goldberg isn't a stranger to relationships. Without a doubt, the longtime actress and host of The View is growing more and more comfortable with herself. Undoubtedly, Whoopi Goldberg has given romance a fair shot. Previously, having 3 marriages, she is discovering her true preferences in relationships. First, she and Alvin Martin were in a marriage and gave birth to a daughter, Alex, 49. They later separated and finalized their divorce in 1979. Then, from 1986 to 1988, she and cinematographer David Clayson shared a marriage. And finally, her third husband, Lyle Trachtenberg, and Whoopi's marriage was from 1994 to 1995. However, in the May 10 episode of Who's Talking to Chris Wallace? On Max, Whoopi reveals she isn't wanting to marry again. But now, she is discussing what she likes in the love department while promoting her new memoir, Bits and Pieces, My Mother, My Brother, and Me. Whoopi Goldberg talks romance. Lately, Whoopi Goldberg has been taking off with her discussions about Bits and Pieces, My Mother, My Brother, and Me. On The Don Lemon Show, Whoopi opens up about her current view on romance. Admittedly, she recognizes she is fundamentally a selfish person. While discussing her memoir, she says, I found that because I have a wonderful kid and a son-in-law and 3 grandkids and 1 great-grand that I don't have time for a whole lot of other people coming into my life. She explains she is okay with hit and runs, but doesn't want much more than that in her life right now. While she is all right with having some encounters, she doesn't want to draw them out. She states about the quick rondoxes, don't mind those. However, she makes it clear, but you can't spend the night. After her explanation, Don chuckles at her selected description of hit and runs. Then he fist bumps her and asks, they still happen? Whoopi Goldberg dives in. In response, Whoopi Goldberg answers, oh yeah. The View host continues, and you have to give yourself permission because you know you have this whole line of words that are stacked up in your head about what you are if you say a hit and run is where you want to be and you don't want to be married. Further elaborating, Whoopi tells Don Lemon, you know, oh, am I a whore? Am I this? Am I a terrible person because I don't want to? And I never really thought about it. While discussing, she confesses, I just thought, well, I must be doing it wrong because other people seem to be able to have figured it out. However, Whoopi finds peace by saying, what I didn't realize with that was that I had figured it out. She isn't looking for another marriage. I just was surprised by the fact that I didn't really want it, but I like to hit and run, Whoopi Goldberg shares with Don Lemon. Then, she adds, and my mother said, well, maybe you should just throw a party from now on, not get married anymore. But Whoopi gained perspective on herself and said, I don't really want that. Instead of marriage, she is redefining her desires. She says, I want to see you when I see you, and then you go. While talking to Chris Wallace on Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, he asks if she wants another marriage. She says, no, I don't. Then she explains, I don't care how you feel. It's terrible. Whoopi Goldberg has realized that she doesn't want that investment. She confesses, you know when you're married to somebody, you have to be invested in how they're feeling. I'm not, but she knows her priorities in life. She adds, I'm invested in my kid. I'm invested in her kids. Furthermore, she says, I'm invested in my son-in-law. I'm invested in my friends. Admittedly, that doesn't include marriage right now. Continuing, but I'm not invested in a relationship that would require as much as having a child requires, and I know that that's not for me.